In this video, I'm going to discuss the biggest pump and dump scam, which is Bitcoin, and I will also explain why I think it's nothing more than digital trash. So I'll start off by discussing the apparent value proposition that Bitcoin was supposed to serve inside your portfolio as the cryptocurrency community tried to compare it to gold. Now that's obviously a ridiculous comparison because Bitcoin can never be compared to gold. Bitcoin has no intrinsic value and it has no utility. It's nothing more than a string of numbers that only exists in cyberspace, but these crypto dorks, well, they don't understand that. They think that it's a real coin, similar to a gold coin. So the first value proposition, according to cryptocurrency gurus, is that Bitcoin is digital gold. But you would be pretty stupid if you believe such a thing because it has nothing in common with gold, whether that's the comparison as an asset class or as a store of value, which it can never be because there is no value to store in Bitcoin. It has no utility, and it is not legal tender that can challenge the dollar the way gold can, which is why gold is considered to be the number one inflation hedge. And if you don't already know, inflation is an expansion of the currency supply. Now, just the volatility of Bitcoin alone proves that it can never be compared to gold. As I'm recording this video, Bitcoin is currently trading at around $19,000 per Bitcoin. That is a massive $50,000 less than its all-time high, which was $69,000, which it hit in December last year. While gold's volatility, on the other hand, in that same time period has rose from around $1,800 to $2,100 an ounce. Now it has fallen into a moderate bear market, but gold's price is dictated by the supply and demand of the metal and its utility. It is a luxury good and a monetary metal that has been in demand for thousands of years. And the reason why it's used as a store of value is because of its utility. So even if the government printed fiat currency system crashes, which it likely will, gold will always hold its value because of its industrial use. It is in all of our favorite electronic devices, and its most prominent use, which is manufacturing luxury jewelry. And when gold was used as a monetary metal, historically gold has proven itself to be the best form of real money. The paper notes that are printed by government is not real money. They are paper notes that are used as currency and as legal tender, whereas gold is real money, and real money is a commodity that has utility. Bitcoin has no utility. It's a digital token that has nothing in common with gold. It's fool's gold that's backed by a bunch of fools who think that it's gold 2.0. So that's what these crypto dorks would say about Bitcoin. They think that it's an equivalent to gold. But once Bitcoin crashed, they are now trying to reinvent Bitcoin into something else because they look like idiots every time they try and compare the two. So what I'm hearing now, particularly on CNBC, is that Bitcoin is like a technology stock. And that explains its volatility, because if you've been paying attention to the stock market here in 2022, then you would know that the technology sector is being obliterated. So in order for the Bitcoin community to try and hold on to what little dignity they have left, they are now correlating Bitcoin to the technology sector. Bitcoin failed at being a currency due to being so expensive for every transaction. It's reported that every Bitcoin transaction costs upwards of $170 every time you transact. And that's not to mention the tax you would need to pay if you wanted to convert your Bitcoin into dollars. So it's not a currency, it's clearly not digital gold, and now that Bitcoin gurus have contradicted themselves by saying that it's uncorrelated to any other asset, but then they correlated it to a technology stock, well, let's debunk that load of rubbish because it's not like a technology stock either. You see, if you were purchasing stock in one of these speculative NASDAQ technology companies that have never turned a profit, at least in theory, you are investing your money into a company that produces a product or a service that can be sold and that produces earnings. But Bitcoin will never produce earnings because Bitcoin is not a business. So it's ridiculous to compare it to a technology stock because there is no fundamental correlation whatsoever apart from the fact that they are all in this speculative bubble which will soon implode. But at least if you're investing in a technology company, you can speculate on what that company's earnings will be in the future, but earnings are something Bitcoin will never produce. The only thing that Bitcoin is correlated with are the 20 20,000 other cryptocurrencies out there, or as the crypto dorks like to call them, altcoins. That's the only correlation. There is no difference between Bitcoin and the latest cryptocurrency I saw, D's Nuts coin. Now, I'm not making this up. There is literally a cryptocurrency called D's Nuts coin. That shows you how ridiculous the whole world of cryptocurrency is. So it's nothing like a technology company because it doesn't produce anything and it will never have earnings. And it's obviously not like gold because it has no physical properties and it has no intrinsic value. And as I was watching CNBC try and reinvent Bitcoin into a technology stock to try and explain its crash, I was surprised when I actually heard one of the hosts say that only 32% of Bitcoin hodlers are at a profit. So more than 2/3 of people who actually own Bitcoin in their cryptocurrency wallets are losing money. So it's ignorant for crypto gurus to say how it's been the best investment over the last 10 years due to the price exploding. Now that is true for the people who brought in 10 years ago and who benefited from all the hype, but that's not true for the other 68% who got suckered into buying into the hype over the last year or two because they are all at a loss. Now you can blame all of the hype on mainstream media because they are the ones being paid off by cryptocurrency whales to keep this hype train going for as long as possible. And I continue to see how desperate these Bitcoin gurus are getting. I sometimes tune into Bitcoin's biggest goof, Michael Saylor, just to see what else he's spewing out to his followers. And as Bitcoin's price continues to crash, he has been saying the dumbest shit. He describes this huge volatility in price, but it's worse than volatility, it's a crash in price, as it's currently trading at 70% lower than its all-time high. But he describes this as a part of Bitcoin's appeal, because according to him, Bitcoin traders like this volatility. Buy on the dip, sell while it's high, so it's perfect for trading, he says. The fact that it's so volatile and that the price can collapse at any time makes it more appealing, according to Michael Saylor. But if that's the case, it completely destroys the narrative of being a store of value or any kind of inflation hedge. So it's not a store of value, it's not a currency, it's not a technology stock, it's fool's gold that only exists on the blockchain. These Bitcoin gurus are trying to tout this digital trash as all things to all people, which proves that it's nothing to nobody. For more videos on all things investing, subscribe to this channel.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay. But take all your money, buy Bitcoin, then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin, then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.